Welcome back to Smedley's Ranch. Well, things are moving along. Recent events are making it necessary to accept, the strong possibility that I may not be staying here. Um, like I said, it's a strong possibility. Maybe I was, busy ignoring it. I don't think so. I think I was just being optimistic and just keep working like I am now, or else I wouldn't be out here working. So, um, yeah, honestly, it's work either way. Doesn't bother me too much that way. And also, honestly, I know I'm gonna, work and learn regardless, even if it's doing something else. I've got other prospects for what other aspects of my life, career, spiritually, and otherwise, It's a big world out there, plenty to do. This isn't this isn't the world. So, um, yeah. And on top of it, there's a lot of other stuff. Probably it's more pressing and important to me, but it's a lot right now. It's been a lot. Pretty, dare I say, hmm, I won't say, but I'll say I'm content with the way I've handled things, am handling things, and am going to handle things. So, it's going to be interesting, though. I would say, if I do have to go, I am, I'll be relieved, right? Because I would never quit. I'd never let it go. I would just keep trying. So that's why I'm content, because I know if it doesn't work out, I've done everything I possibly can. I've been working hard, and it's just time to move on. I can accept that. That's easy. So it'll be a relief in a lot of ways to be able to take stock, recoup, and move on. It just brought to mind, quite honestly. And it's the reason why it kind of just flooded in here like this was I got started doing all this under extremely odd circumstances. So, yeah. And, giving it a little bit more time, I could sort it out, but maybe it's just not, it's just not supposed to take place that way. I don't think I would have sorted it out the way things were going, but, some changes happened and it was for the better. And it's good. It'll be good. Well, short way to put it is, sure a lot of you know how divorce goes, so it is what it is. I won't never be mad or bitter or anything like that. Um, I grew up, you know, with it rough. This is, I have no reason to expect, things have ever gotten any better. In fact, there's, every reason to see that it's getting worse. So this is nothing new with, situations happening like this. So that's that's the easy part, accepting that. The hardest part for me, which I don't need to share with you, do I? But the hardest part I'm dealing with is people. That's the hardest part. There's good people out there, and there's all right people out there, and then there's some bad people out there, and there's some terrible people out there. And the environment doesn't help. It does help to identify them. I don't know, and maybe just experience too, right? Maybe it's you wouldn't even recognize certain kinds until you've had experience with certain kinds. So, you know, that's what I think I'm going through. And you could be right next to a certain kind and not really know it until you do, and then you start seeing that more. Mm-hmm. And then you know, you may be going through a process of figuring out how you feel and deal with certain behaviors, and you decide as your own person, I don't really like that, so I gotta adjust. And then your circle, it's like, what's wrong with you? Or what have you, right? It could be your family, it could be anywhere. And for me, it's rewarding too, though, because there's some places these last couple years, it's been interesting. I can neither, well, say, act like the person I used to be who didn't know I had a choice in how I behave and how I looked at others. I didn't just have to, please everybody and have to, you know, suffer so that somebody else can feel like, they're on top of the world. That's an extreme, extreme way of putting it, but it hits home. And when I started doing that, you know, everywhere I went, I started seeing that there's ones that need that, and then there's cool people too. There's cool people who are, trying to get by too, or aren't expecting everyone else to, fall in line with them and everything. So one thing I did find was it's frustrating, but um, people in authority. I'm no expert or anything, but just in general, my observation, and it's not everybody, and there's other reasons why. For one thing, authority comes with, you know, benefits, such as more money, right? Maybe more time. Having authority over situations comes with benefits, so maybe that's the sole driver. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people I find are more driven by the control of other people. An example is, if you're in charge of other people, when you make a mistake, you just tell them, deal with my mistake. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that, but if that's just a repetitive thing, it's you could see the issue there. You're just supposed to deal with my mistake. You're just supposed to deal with, you know, me, because I'm in charge. Again, extreme example, but I'm just saying it to give an example, right? I get in authority and I could have fun with who I am. Instead of just having fun with who you are, right? That's why I feel okay with myself, because I had an opportunity, not to say that I really would have even got the position, but I had a chance to pursue a position. And I truly was honest with myself and said I had no, what was the word, desire to be a boss of anybody. And I don't like the sound of that. Now, can I take charge? Probably. Probably. But I don't want to. So I like that about myself. I'll try to keep that intact. Um, I think I touched on that because that's been a big learning lesson. I've had a, it's an ongoing thing still right now, but I've had to hold my own against that to a pretty extreme degree. Um, and I'm not talking about you know, a extreme form of that is, you might see videos where the person won't roll down the window for the police officer and is quoting all the reasons why I don't have to talk to you and all this other stuff. You know, I'm not, and that I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. I don't know if anything's wrong with that or not. To tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't. I don't know who's in the right there. But most people roll down the window and do everything the police say. Is that right? It's safe, but is it the best way to go? I guess it depends on the situation. So that's kind of like an extreme measure. You don't want to go around challenging every authority that pulls up, right? Maybe they're practicing. I don't know. I don't know that. But and I think to go along with that is, do you have to know exactly how to, I won't say challenge authority, but to stand up to it, right? Do you have to know all these codes and everything? I guess it might make it a little safer for you. Or when it's time to just stand your ground and say, that's not right, do you need a manual? I won't say a manual because you might have one. I know I have one, but you know, if you know what's right and there's something wrong, okay, right? And it's not pretty. History shows that. It's not pretty. It's not pretty on the personal level, right? And it's definitely not pretty on a bigger social scene. And I'm just talking about on my little, in my little petty life, I see, you'll get pushback, you'll get threats, you'll get coercion, you'll get ostracized, you get punished, you'll lose things, right? All the while, the ones in the wrong look like they're getting fat. It's okay. Never get extreme about it. Like I was just saying, My manual says that. Never get extreme about it. It's not your fight. Now, what is your fight are these little personal skirmishes. The ones I'm talking about. That's where, you have to decide where that extreme line is. Don't pass it. And where your acceptable actions are, and take them. And be ready to accept the fact that very few people are going to understand and accept those actions. Probably quite the opposite. Because they don't know how to look at it like that, for one. Maybe you think back to slave times, right? Don't be making massa mad. He beat us all. Kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe. There's of so many variations, or the reasons are so variated and in depth. It's really not about trying to figure it out or anything. Just like I said, an individual's focus should be, what are their challenges? What is this life and their environment? What is it trying to do to them? Where is it right? Where is it wrong? And what do they want? What do I want, right? Self-respect, peace, inner peace, not much. But as I just mentioned, those two things, self-respect and inner peace, those aren't common things. And people that don't have that, and they see it, there's some reactions when someone sees what they don't have. There's some reactions. I know. I've had them. Not to the extreme that I've seen put towards me, but I know. I know what insecurity feels like. I know what envy feels like. Jealousy, that's a stretch, but yeah, you know what that feels like, I guess, right? And it's the same thing as if I'm dealing with those feelings. I deal with my feelings pretty much the same way I deal with the outside world. If I'm feeling a certain way, I challenge myself, is that right? I don't let myself run away with it, I challenge myself. I step to myself saying, no, that ain't right. And it's got to stop, right? I'm over here thinking about doing something like this or feeling a certain way about somebody. It's got to stop. Good thing about it is I'm dealing with the person that, dealing with myself. I can do that, right? Or I can fail and learn my lesson. So, if you've made it this far and you resonate with this, Good. If you made it this far and you don't like what you're hearing, good. Um, because I think in either one of those circumstances, it's still something you might want to hear. Because if you're on the more negative side, you're wondering why. Why would somebody keep going? Why? Why don't you just do like everybody else? Why don't you, you know, sell out? Why don't you, I don't get it. And if you've been listening, it's because I want to respect myself, right? I won't respect myself if somebody came to me right now and said, here's what you should be doing like this, and despite how I feel about it, I just do it. Worse yet, tremendous consequences are on me immediately. How do you feel when you're listening to somebody else's advice and you do it because good faith or whatever you got going on, and now you're like, should have thought that through. It's not the only reason why to do it, but I'd have to say that's been a big part of the learning lesson for me. Well, that's just one small explanation to it. Yeah, I wouldn't respect myself if I'm doing what I don't understand to be the right move. I've had people telling me to believe lies. I know this person is lying, and people are telling me, don't think they're lying. Why would you do that? When I know they're lying, but people can tell you, no, give them the benefit of the doubt. Even though, no, maybe they're not lying. Maybe the lie is true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. No. Respectfully, no. Back past, about 15 years ago, uppercuts would have been handed out. Many dozens of uppercuts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can laugh now because it's funny. It's not serious. I'm not seriously joking. You know. I'm just saying it was that. Yeah. I had to go through that phase and the phase I'm going through now to have that peace. You know. And nothing's going to take that away. None of what's going on. It can escalate, which it is, right? It's testing that. It's testing. And that's okay. It's fine. I've been tested pretty well. Still being tested. I ain't done, but that's the good thing, right? And that therein lies a beautiful part of it. You know, you got to be careful where you stand your ground because it could get wiped out, right? It may be the right spot, but it ain't gonna stay there for long, right? You could be standing in the right spot, and the right spot could get wiped out. So be careful where you stand. But When you do, and you're flexible, you know when to step to the side, move forward, move back, move to the side, duck, jump, do-si-do. Your faith is strengthened. And yeah, I'm kind of proud because I've been at it for a while. I've been at it, and I've been talking to people the whole time. You know, fresh off the boat of a self-destructive path, I was I've been trying to help others, deal with similar things. And it's been noticed. I was talking to friends not too long ago. I've left a trail of smiles. And they're not everywhere. They pop up though. Years back, starting about 15 years ago, I run into somebody and they smile and I smile at them. I'm happy they're up and they're certainly happy I'm up. Because in a small way, both of us probably helped each other be where we're at in the smallest of ways at worst. And so I'm proud and I've been consistent. And I'm going to stay consistent regardless of what changes the world wants to make. And maybe I'll need to learn to keep my mouth shut. Believe me, I know the benefit of that. That's why I'm not, making videos all the time, ranting and raving. I do know better than that. I may not know better than what I'm doing right now, talking, but just like when it started about 2 years ago, me really doing videos, I need it right now. Because I need somebody around like me. Funny enough, the environment has provided. It has. It has provided enough. So it's just, I guess, the little added part of it. I can't say, I'm completely alone because I'm not at all by any means. So we'll move some of this stuff behind me. This is the back end right here. If I can get this, well, I guess if you made it this far, this will be where I'll say it. So shortly after the divorce, my neighbor's a chronic complainer. He's been complaining since I got here, but when things got overgrown these last 2 years, as I've been going through it, I got the county and the fire for too high fire fuels or whatever. So I got them called on me, and I've got to, get it together. So they want to see progress. So I've been which is fine. It needs to be done. I'm not complaining about that. So it's been an added thing, but a good thing too. So yeah, see, some in there, yeah. I know I can't focus on the negative part of it. That's for sure. It's not helpful. It sure doesn't help with the other situation because it came like a week or two after the divorce. I got served with the divorce papers. I want to say 2 weeks before the court date. Someone conveniently left out the papers that said when the court date was. It just so happens my mom went in to check and see what was, had been filed. And that had been filed, but it wasn't in my the papers I was served. So I went in to the court date without even responding yet, which you're not supposed to. The judge he basically thought I was in default, but he saw, oh, yeah, proof of service wasn't but 2 weeks ago, so I still had 2 weeks to respond. So it's been crazy. That's just that part of it. Okay, it's interesting, but all that just to say, it's the test, right? It's the officer at the window. And you just, you respond appropriately, and you do what you're supposed to do. When it's time to not do something, you not do something, and it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough when it's time to not do what they want you to do. But you can't live with yourself. I can't live with myself doing what they tell me to do when I know I'm not supposed to. I'm not saying when I don't think I'm supposed to, when I know I'm not supposed to. There's the difference. And I gotta ask, is it just because I don't think I don't want to, or is it because I'm not supposed to? I had some good tests on that recently. I won't go into it because it's more in work than anything. It's been a challenge. But I was questioning myself. It's like, now, am I acting this way because I think I don't want to, or is it because I know? And it's worked out. But again, it's better to check. So I was checking up on myself. Oh, starting to cool down now. That's good. I just move this out. Maybe cut some of this wood up. I was really trying to wait a little bit longer because behind me I was cleaning all this wood out. Maybe out of this grass that I need to cut. It was a big wasp nest. Well, let's see if I can find it. Because I know they're probably dead. I end up spraying them, but let's see here. Whoa! And they're still alive. Doggone it. There's some remnant there. It's only about that big. So, and it's those those yellow and orange ones. Everywhere else it's those black, and yellow ones. Those are those mean ones right there. I don't know if those are the yellow jackets. No, yellow jacks, jackets. Those, the meat bees, is that what I don't know. Anyway, something interesting. I feel I have a measure of hornet protection because I've stirred up, especially these last 2 or 3 years, I've stirred up many hornet's nests. I've been stung 3, 4. Like I had one above the barn door. One stung me in the back of the head. But I've been stung. But I've seen other people stir them up, and I mean, like the whole thing goes after them, right? It just seems like staying, stable and everything. They don't seem to like react to me as much. Yeah, sure, Josh, right? But I could tell myself whatever I want, right? Anyway, oh, that's in there pretty good, isn't it? So, oh, that's a pretty big branch right there, isn't it? Well, that would be why. So, am I even recording? Sure do hope so. Yeah, okay. I tested it. I think I thin, therefore I am. Should I hit that one while I'm over there? I think I'll wait. Okay. Well, here's some over here too. Might as well get this while I'm here. You see me? Good. Gotta be seen. Right? Gotta be seen. Maybe I'm so grandiose I feel like the world needs to see me, right? You need me. You need to see me, right? What would you do without me? I tell you what, though. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. I guess so. I've already said it, so I could say it again. That might not be a good idea either, though, but I need somebody like me. Maybe that's all I'm doing. It's just that. Maybe. 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 Hopefully. Hopefully. Because, I enjoy sharing the parts of me that help. Right? Like I said. I learned a lot from, you know, looking and listening to other people. And maybe for one reason or another, those people don't know the effect of that very well. So they'll say, yeah, do this. Oops. Got you kind of messed up there, didn't I? Oh, shouldn't listen to everybody. So, you're not exactly leaving a trail of smiles in that aspect, right? But experience has shown me, more or less, that I go about it in a different way, right? I really pay attention. I watch, you watch somebody trying to do something a certain way, and you watch them, right? You watch them, and you watch them, and you watch them. And you say, you got it, and they go, yeah, and you go, okay, and you watch them, and you watch them, and you watch them, right? And you can kind of sense that moment when they're responsive. Say, hey, can I show you something? Okay, thanks. Yeah, you see? And then at the same time, at that particular point, you don't try to sell them beachfront property in Arizona, right? It's that simple. Or try and sell them, your perspective or something, right? You genuinely try to help them do what they're trying to do. Help them try to do what they're trying to do. If it's not harmful, and even if you don't understand what they're trying to do, you help them try to deal with what they got. And you wouldn't know if you weren't paying attention. If you just saw, I think you're trying to do this because this is what I would do, and this is what I think you're doing, and this is what I think you should do. Then you're giving them advice, and that's why, you know, advice hastily given and hastily accepted leads to some not so good consequences, even though it could be given in all kinds of, proper motive. Accepted with proper motive too, right? So all that to say, in my opinion, there's some uniqueness to me. Don't mean I need to bottle it and sell it, because I won't. But I need some of it for myself too. I mean, I do, but I am trying to move on with it. If that makes any sense, we'll see. Gonna need to get a ladder for this next one, I think. But good enough for right now. Good enough for right now. I'll start slow on that one. Maybe get that one over there. Why not? I'm gonna need this. Yeah, I'm gonna need this one more time for that right there, aren't I? Okay. So just so that I know, and you know that I know, this little process right here has really helped me to see how proud I am of where I'm at. because I'm not going to let the negativity define me or guide me, you know? Already got that right there. Something right here. Right. Something's not right. It don't sink in real fast. I'm gonna have to, must be another branch or something. Coming down. I don't think yeah, something's not right there. Let's see here. It's going through. I don't know why it's up at that angle though. Let's see. Too thick. Nice. Just the angle was okay. Miss Dulce. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Plenty of firewood for this winter. Mm-hmm. Clean them up. Make biochar. Burn the rest, yeah. The little twigs and everything. Hey. And we'll see, you know. Never know what the future holds. Just take stock. Because it ain't over yet. You never know. You never know. So, but I do know a few things. And that's going to keep on doing what needs to be done. Might as well cut some of this up, huh? How long we been going? Hour? Not too bad. Yeah. Buck some up, eh? And get this out, get this kind of generally cleaned up, mowed down. Probably, yeah, some plastic too, where I can, at least in some more patches. Probably get this plastic extended to that plastic would be nice. And then I have a patch of plastic over there. Yep. Just get this plastic. Don't have to worry about weeds or anything for a while. Mm-hmm. And it'll look like some good progress too, won't it? Because it will be. Some dead trees over there too. Get that. Lots of firewood. Dulce's brother is buried right over here by this walnut stump. Remember when we buried Samson? Remember? Yeah. You miss him? You miss Samson? Yeah. But I get his pets, huh? They used to fight. You can't pet one without the other. You got to pet them at the same time. Now you get them all, huh? Uh-huh. Okay. Feel better. Feel a lot better. You tell me, would you rather have somebody beside you who tells you, think about that, or sounds good to me, your choice, go ahead. I've said all that already, right? I think it just, yeah. There's a fine line between enabling and just honestly not wanting to get, encroach. And not caring at all. How to be balanced. You wouldn't get that. Be glad you don't. Oh, these keep falling, so they can't, yeah, they're just gonna end up lost if I don't put them somewhere else right now. Okay, there we go. Okay. Cut all that up. I wonder how good. This might make halfway decent privacy. Halfway decent. I mean, it might. Fold it over like that. Oh, that is from a chicken coop. So this was like a tent system. This was laying over this, actually. All right, it was like 2 posts. It was probably 3. So this spread out, right? And it was like cross braced. And then I laid it was a chicken coop. Yep, that's what that's from. Gerber. Come on. Let's take this over here. Chickens being chickens. Being chicken. Roosters being chicken, more precisely. Mm-hmm. Woohoo! Almost ensured no offspring right there. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Squirrel mound. It's amazing how they do that. They just find a spot and they dig. No. It's good dirt, all churned up though. Okay, with lots of weed seeds in it. Probably just level it out. Uh-oh. Ooh, alligator lizard. He turned the corner on me. Oh well, he wasn't that big anyway. All right. Anyway, still got my mic on. Good. Okay. So, yeah, in the meantime, stay productive. It'll all work out. Cut some of this stuff up. Was thinking I'll pile the twigs in this old camper top. Might end up opening up my back fence here, get some of this junk out, open it up, pull my truck on the other side, and get some stuff out. Okay. Yeah. It's been interesting. I think it was over 2 years ago. This tree was, there was a tree here much bigger than that one. Not as big as this one, but, and it was the first one. It didn't make, I think first year it died. It had a little bit of growth, yeah, around here, but yeah. The next year it was like, you could tell it's completely dead. None of the other trees have, like, see that one's like dead up there. Maybe it's getting ready to go, I don't know. But none, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8 walnut trees, that's the only one that just like died. The rest, there's one by the garage, it was like mostly dead, and it's way up high with new growth though. One side of it is completely dead, and it's kind of hollow on one side, but it didn't do like this one. This one, it was dead. So cut it down a little bit, starting up at top, brought it down. This one's still, there's still a couple remnant pieces that burnt pretty much all of the winter. Still got some left, and with everything else, enough for another winter. I feel like I hear water running. I hear water running. Sorry. Sorry. That might be like the neighbor's water turning on. It's got to be because, I've been out here this whole time. I think it's the neighbor's water starting to go. The orchard got some loud sprinklers over there. Need to use the bathroom, excuse me. Let's try some mute action, right? Okay. So yeah, that water you're hearing is the orchards behind me. They're sprinklers, pretty loud. To me, it sounded like my system sprung a leak or something and was gurgling, but was not the case. Thankfully, I do hear it a little bit, but that was like really bad. to be that loud. I got a watermelon or two. This one or two look okay. Roselle. Okay. This is fertilizer right here, just from putting like weeds and plant matter in here. Turns into, I forget what it's called. What's the word? I'd have to look it up again. Too much going on. But yeah. And you know, I'm so not looking for comments like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Josh." Yeah, I'm not. I'm not looking for anything. You know, what comes comes. I know that comes. That comes. Okay. Me too. You know, but not. You know, not mad that anybody says it or anything. I just, it's, you know. I'm at a place right now, right? If I, like, 2, 3 years ago, if I heard somebody going through something like that, I probably said a lot of stuff too. Maybe. Probably have. I'm going to benefit from the uniqueness of my own experience, though. I was talking to somebody yesterday, you know, basically, and that's probably a lot of the problem I've been running into is that a lot of people group all relationship issues together. All marriages are hard. Everybody goes through that. I'll tell you right now, don't everybody go through what I've been going through. So, it's good for me. I guess not so good for them. I mean, it's good that, you know, if they're going through normal issues, right? Normal issues, you can get normal help. Abnormal issues, I was telling somebody else having similar issues. It's like, unfortunately, you know, you're more on the forefront of this issue happening, right? So, on the bright side, you're a little bit more ahead on dealing with it. On the negative side, you're on the front side of dealing with it. So, and again, I see that it's not so much that the issue is new, it's just that no one has looked and be like, no, uh-uh. Uh-uh. So they were just telling me yesterday, well, what if they feel like it's that way even though it's not? What if they feel that it's that way even if it's not? Well, there's a delicate balance to that now, isn't there? At one point they feel like it is that way, but it's not. that's yeah. And right there, if you want to treat it the way you feel is right, then you go ahead and do that, and I will do the same. Our situations in the matter aren't the same either, right? If you see a kid getting ready to put some scissors into the electrical socket because he feels it's the right thing to do, the parent may feel a whole different way than, some bystander. Bad example, but it just brings home the point, right? Two people can feel totally different ways about the same situation. Right? The kid feels it's the right thing to do. Some people might feel it's okay. Let them learn, right? Anyway, I just, yeah, I guess I need to talk it out sometimes because it. I was gonna sit down and journal, but it's just I gotta stay busy and stuff. Sitting down journaling it out is okay. Yeah. It's good to talk it out. What more can I say? A lot, but nope, nope. Oh, yeah. This patch needs to be plastic right here. Bam, right? Should get it done because it's not much. Could pull up some of this screen here, get this plastic, bam. Mm-hmm. Quite exciting times. All right. I do feel a lot better though. I'm sure something's gonna need to be done about that, right? So, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, thank you for watching. And I'll keep you updated. Next couple months will be interesting. About 3 months. Mm-hmm. And after that will be what it is. We'll see. Right now, I'm gonna get in, get some rest, try and come out, do a little bit in the cooler part of the morning, chill out through the hot part, come back out tomorrow evening again, ready for another week. Take care. Bye bye.